Want to have your clip featured in the Skyrim Clip of the Week? Simply record the clip on your Xbox and then send it to me via message. My gamertag is iRyanI, that's IRYENI, and then you can message it to me over Xbox and I'll be able to view it. I look forward to seeing the clips that you guys send me. Now moving on to the video. Hey, what's up guys, it's Ryan, and welcome back to another episode of Modded Monday. We're on week number 229 now, guys. I've picked out 5 new mods for you guys to check out and perhaps add them to your load order if you find them interesting. But like always, before we jump into them, I want to remind you guys that I'm partnered with GamerSupps, which in my opinion is the best energy drink on the market. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, be sure to check out the link in the description where you can go to their store page, and you can also use the code RTD for a 10% discount on all your purchases. I also want to say don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any brand new mods each and every single week. Now that all that's out of the way, we can jump into this week's mods, and starting us off we have the Tru Windows in 3D Buildings mod. Now the mod page reads, to celebrate Anniversary Edition, I'm releasing the Tru Windows in 3D Buildings mod. This mod adds the buildings of Skyrim and the interiors that are actually decorated now, so you can actually see through the windows from the outside and actually see the interior of any building that you encounter in Skyrim. Now they aren't an exact match to the vanilla interiors, but they tried their best to actually implement every different shop and house interior to the exterior of Skyrim too. And this actually works with all of your different overhauls that you have for all of the cities as well. I was actually very surprised to see that it worked in Whiterun, despite the fact that we have like 5 or 6 different Whiterun mods installed here. But this actually works with any mod that you would have in your list, and it covers so many different cities and towns where you can see through the windows, such as Whiterun. Everywhere except for the tavern in Whiterun is changed. Riften's windows are also covered everywhere around the city, as well as Solitude, and they even did Markarth, which doesn't have that many windows. Then they also did farmhouses and forts, as well as the College of Winterhold, so there's so many different areas that this mod covers, and it makes you able to see through the windows, and it's such a small change, which is why it's here at our number 5 spot, because who just goes up and looks through all the windows in Skyrim? I just really like the immersion that it brings to the table, and it makes the game feel a lot more realistic and maybe more lived in as well, because you actually get to see into the buildings. But there really isn't that much else to say about the mod. I really like the concept and how they were able to implement it to all of the cities, and with it being compatible with all the other mods that we have in this list, I think it's a perfect addition to top off any different type of graphical overhaul that you would have, because it just really makes the city feel more lived in and alive. And that's definitely why the Tru Windows in 3D Buildings mod comes in at our number 5 spot, so I'd recommend downloading it. Coming in at our number 4 spot, we have Schlitzohr's Villages and Settlements Bundle mod. This is a bundle of all 5 of Schlitzohr's lovely villages and settlements. This includes Ambergard, Sunthgat, Granite Hall, Granite Hill. Now if you've never heard of those areas outside of this mod pack, there's a whole bunch of different mods that have been uploaded by Schlitzohr, where they just add a whole bunch of new villages and, of course settlements, that's the mod name, but it's a whole bunch of new explorable locations that you can go to. Maybe they're inns and taverns, maybe they're little villages, maybe they're, areas that you can just stop and have a, bottle of mead, just little settlements that you can stumble across in Skyrim whenever you're going about your travels. Now as you can see, these are very simple locations, but there's so many different ones now, and so many new NPCs to talk to, new traders, new things to sell, and new loot to buy. And all of these features are included in one mod, coming in at 29.03 megabytes. So if you have the space and want to add some more locations to explore, or maybe more places to take a load off, or more places to get meat or new equipment, then the Schlitzohr's Villages and Settlements bundle mod is definitely a mod I'd recommend checking out, and that's why it's featured here at our number 4 spot, so I'd recommend downloading it and exploring some of these new locations for yourself. Coming in at our number 3 spot, now since we just covered a mod that adds new areas into the game, I thought it would be good to include a mod that covers areas we know and love in the game as well. This is included in the Great Towns and Villages bundle mod here up next, and it's another bundle mod that features so many different retextures to the cities that we know. This includes Carthwiston, Kynesgrove, Mixwater Mill, Old Heraldon, and Shorestone, and you may also notice that these areas weren't covered in our mod pack mod list that we posted a few days ago. So that makes it even more important to install in this list here, because it just covers everything that you would like I said, Iverstead, Carthwiston, and more. There's so many different towns and villages that have been overhauled, and I know that in our mod pack mod list we overhauled the cities by using, retexture mods, but none of those mods in that list actually dived in and changed the actual layout of the city. It just went in and retextured it, made it look a little better, but it never actually changed the, structural integrity, added more buildings, more NPCs, no, none of that, just the regular retextures. So that's definitely where we're going to come in with this Great Towns and Villages bundle mod, which will cover all of those areas that we may have missed in the mod pack mod list, and add even more textures on top of that. And you can see this as I'm walking around and showcasing off the towns and villages, and it doesn't break any of the overhauls or texture packs or even the other city overhauls that we have included in our list, so it's definitely something that we can put on top of our mod pack mod list to cover even more areas in Skyrim, and who wouldn't want a mod like this? And really shine some light on some of these cities that maybe didn't get the full spotlight during Skyrim's original release. So if you're a big fan of the Great Towns and Villages mods and you just want one mod that has all of them included in one bundle, then the Great Towns and Villages bundle mod is definitely a mod I'd recommend checking out because it features everything that you're going to want all fit into one small mod coming in at 55.91 megabytes, and it'll work perfectly for all those people that want a big upgrade to their towns and villages in Skyrim. And that's definitely why this mod's featured here at our number 3 spot, so I'd recommend downloading it. Coming in at our number 2 spot, we have a huge mod pack that features a whole bunch of different weapon replacers, and this is the vPulse 08's Weapon Replacer Selection Bundle. Now the mod page reads that this is a collection of weapon replacers by vPulse 08, containing one version of each of his open permission replacer mods. The weapon mods that we have here include the Silver's Edge, Silver Sword, and Greatsword model replacer, the Galder brand Galder weapons replacer mod, as well as Horksbane, Satan's Wrath, a Cut Imperii, which is the Imperial Sword and Greatsword replacer, then you have the Elven Blades, which is an Elven Sword and Greatsword replacer as well, Akavari Edge, which is the Blades and Akavari Sword replacers, and then you have the Mirok Sword and Staff replacer, Ebony Edge, which is the Ebony Sword and Greatsword replacer, Stormfang, the Glass Blades, Ghost Blade, Grim's Reaver, the Dragonbone Warhammer. There's so many different weapons that have been completely retextured here and completely reworked, and as you can see as I'm showcasing some of these off, they look absolutely badass. Some of my favorite ones include the Glass Blades as well as the Grim's Reaver. They have a new very shiny blue texture to it, and I really like how they made the glass textures look. And I've always noticed whenever it comes to building load orders, it's very hard to pick a weapon mod if you plan on making a huge list. We have 150 mod slots here, so if you like a bunch of different weapons, you may end up choosing about 10 different weapon mods without any mod packs. So that would really take up some space whenever you're building a load order, but the fact that we have it all in one mod here coming in at 22.36 megabytes and covers pretty much 2 to 3 swords of every single category in Skyrim, you'll have so many new weapons to use that you'll be able to build a brand new arsenal using some of these badass weapon replacers. So if you're looking for a new arsenal and you just want to transform the weapons that you use in Skyrim, then vPulse 08's Weapon Replacer Selection Bundle is definitely a mod I'd recommend checking out. Coming in at our number 1 spot, we have a mod that I'm extremely excited to talk about, and that's Conduit, the short-term weapon infusions mod. The mod page reads, when holding a weapon in one hand and a spell in the other, you're able to temporarily conduct the spell through that weapon. Different categories of spell make the weapon do different things, and this effect will overlay on top of normal enchants and does include additional weapon effects that will overlay too. It even works on bound weapons. This means that you can now conduct your spell that you have in your left hand to your right, and just make your swords and maces and all the weapons that you use in Skyrim that are one-handed extremely powerful. This is very good for early game because, you may not have the best enchantments yet, but if you have the flame spell, you can simply just put the flame spell onto your mace for 20 seconds and just have a complete war fight. I really enjoy the combat that comes with using these spells together, and the way to actually obtain the spell book and get started is you have to buy the Conduit research book available at most normal spell vendors, and then you can learn the Conduit power from it. You then use the Conduit power with a weapon and a spell in your hands, and there's also a setting in the book that you can turn that auto-cast Conduit when you equip it. This means if you just have flames and a sword in one hand, or sparks or frostbite, or any different type of destruction spell in your left hand and a sword in the right, then you can cast that immediately without having to actually use the Conduit power. So there's so many different customizability options and ways that you can tweak Conduit to the way that you like it. Now there are some restrictions whenever it comes to this mod, such as the destruction spells that are currently in this mod include Fire, Frost, and Shock like I said, but they do plan on adding 16 other spell categories later down the line with this mod. These include Healing, Vampire, Magic Armor, Reanimation, Frenzy, Fear, and Rally. If you were able to put those on your weapons, this would be an incredible, game-changing mod. I truly feel that this mod reimagines gameplay, especially combat, whenever it comes to mages, battle mages, and even enchanters as well. And that's definitely why the Conduit short-term weapon Infusions mod is featured here at our number 1 spot, so I strongly recommend downloading it and giving it a try for yourself. So that's pretty much it for this week's episode of the top 5 Skyrim mods of the week. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and if you did, I'd appreciate it if you left a like and subscribe if you're new. It really helps me out a lot. And if you have any suggestions for mods you'd like me to cover in future top 5 mod episodes, be sure to let me know in the comment section below, or you can follow me on Twitter. I'll be sure to leave my Twitter in the description, and you guys can follow me on there and leave me suggestions there as well. Special shout out to my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys have done for me. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I will talk to you guys later.